Okay, we all know AI has been changing the game dramatically in the SEO and content creation space. So I'm going to show you today exactly how to use AI for SEO content rating, specifically for your service pages. I run an SEO agency that mainly serves SaaS clients, but I've also worked with many other industries like interior designers, financial planners. So I'm not going to bore you with the details, but I want to show you exactly how I get that content to rank with AI. Let's get into it. Beautiful. So let's begin on our tutorial for AI SEO content creation for your service pages. The very first thing that I will say, if you want this document, because I know it may be easy to follow along with when you actually have the document on hand, go to my website, lanagurton.com/grow my SaaS startup. Even if you're not in SaaS, I still want to send you this document. So I will paste also this link in the meta description down below. So check that out there and submit your name and email address, and I will send you this document. The very first thing that you'll need is your tech stack. So what I'm using in this tutorial is an AI writing tool. I use Claude AI. I just really like the writing of Claude a lot better than ChatGPT, but there are plenty of other tools out there. But today in the tutorial, I use Claude AI. I pay for the subscription model, which is $20 a month. The next is a keyword research tool. I like Ahrefs, but a lot of people also use SEMrush, is another great one. You're going to want an AI SEO tool as well. Again, I like Server. I think it's the best one out there. I don't think that there's another competitor. Neuron Writer is a good second, and it's a lot cheaper. So if you're in a budget, feel free to go with that. But I really like Surfer, and I've been using it for such a long time that I'm on the legacy plan now. So it's not that expensive for me. And then just simply Google Docs or Google Sheet. It's free. Just use that. Don't get anything fancy. So the first thing that I'm going to explain is 3 types of SEO content, right? When you're planning out your service pages, I want you very aware of this. So there's 3 types of content, and it's essentially a funnel, right? So the very first one is awareness. So these are potential clients or customers who are seeking knowledge and to buy. So the purpose of top of the funnel content is to attract and educate leads. This includes things like educating videos or informational blog posts. So let's take a junk removal CRM software company. And basically, what a blog post could look like is 10 biggest challenges facing junk removal businesses, right? They're not necessarily ready to buy. Maybe they're just starting out their junk removal businesses. They want to know the challenges it would cost them, right? After that, the next one is middle of the funnel content, which is the discovery, I like to call it. So the purpose of this is to nurture leads plus showcase experience. So this includes things like in-depth blog posts or research guides or even webinars. An example of this is the ultimate guide to streamline your junk removal operation. So now they're overcome the challenges. They actually started the junk removal business. They want to streamline and scale their operations, right? So that's why this is the middle of the funnel content piece. So they're close to buying. And then action or bottom of the funnel content, the purpose is to convert leads into customers. So these are things like product pages, service pages, or free demos. And this could be like Junk Master CRM, the all-in-one solution for junk removal businesses. So this would be their product page. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because an important note here is you don't want to just go after keywords with high volume, because they're mainly high volume keywords are stuck in the top of funnel content. And this is what I see SEO specialists is doing wrong all the time, is they're going after top of funnel content pieces that are high volume. So you really want to make sure that you're putting in a mix, right? You want those top of funnel keywords because you want to attract more people to your product, to your site, right? The more eyeballs to your site is best. However, though, you want to make sure you're also attracting those high converting customers, the people that are in the middle and bottom of the funnel who are ready to buy your product and turn into actual customers rather than just potential customers. Beautiful. So now let's go into the 3 main steps. So you have 1, the content planning, 2, content creation, and 3, content publishing. So I'm going to go over each of these and how to leverage AI to speed up the process. So the first one is content planning. So there's 5 ways to plan content. So the very first one is you want to ask AI plus the client if you're working with a client, but if you're the business owner, that is fine. You don't have to ask anyone besides yourself. So what services that you provide and dial down on your service pages. The other ways that you can go about content planning and strategy is these 4 ways: competitive gap analysis, keyword research, reviewing your SEO audit, and brainstorming topics. However, though, today, since I'm just talking about AI, I'm just going to show you way one. But of course, these ways you want to do them in tandem as well to get as many content ideas as you possibly can for your site and making sure that you're optimizing your site. But today we're just going to go over how to use AI to do it. The very first thing that I will say is you want to think about your website structure. So you shouldn't move on until you prompt AI plus visualize your website structure. So I have a prompt for you exactly on how to do this. So let's go ahead and put this prompt in. You just want to copy and paste this prompt. You can see it's a really long prompt, so I'm not going to go through it with you, but the only thing that I will say what you need to include is just your industry or business type, right? So just put in your industry and business type, and I'll bring up Claude and show you how to do this. So you just want to go to Claude, paste, and then put in, so this just says, act as an experienced web architect and SEO specialist, create, the website structure for your interior design. I'm going to use website, or actually I'm going to use, let's use the junk removal CRM as an example. And let's see what it prompts us. And I'm just really picky when it comes to formation, junk removal CRM space. Cool. So you just insert it twice there and let's see what it does. Beautiful. So now it's writing out our website structure, and you can see here, it's basically saying the main navigation category should be home, services, how it works, prices, about, resources, and contact. I will say that you need to have somewhat of knowledge to know if this is truly the best route for your site. So make sure you have some expertise in the SEO space or consult an SEO expert to know if this is the right architecture for you. But I would say this looks pretty good to me. So you have your home, you have your services. Every service that you offer, you want to create an individual page for it. So maybe it's a residential junk removal, home clean outs, garage decluttering, awesome. Then you want to create service pages for each of them on your website, how it works, prices, about, resources, contact, etc. So that's awesome. I do have some examples for you on just for templates on how you want to structure your website, just so you have a bit more of understanding of what it should exactly look like. And you want to also always visualize your website like this in some way. So what a well-optimized SaaS website looks like is basically you have your home page, then you have your core pages, which will be features, solutions, support, about, resources, free trial or demo, customer portal. And then for each of those features that you offer, you want to go down the rabbit hole. So maybe you have feature 1, feature 2, and you just want to create a page for each of those features. Maybe you have some integrations, maybe you have some pricing. The next is solutions. So you want to create a page for every industry that you serve. Maybe it's agencies, maybe it's local junk removal businesses, all the above. And then use cases. Maybe you really want, especially for software companies, you want a lot of support, the about, your founder story, etc. Resources, blog, white papers, case studies, webinars, documentation, and then customer portal, wherever they log into the software. Awesome. Then I have another example just to show you a bit more. So interior design, what it should look like, a website. So for things like services, like your interior design homepage, you have your core pages, which will be about services that you offer. For specifically interior designers, you want to have a portfolio. What this could look like is just showcasing before and after. So you have residential projects, commercial products, and then everything can go underneath that. If you have individual, maybe bathrooms, living rooms that you have before and after photos for. Maybe you have a shop for your own products, the blog, which can include things like design tips, trends, project showcases, a contact, right? They should always be able to contact you, and then resources, FAQs, design process, client testimonials. For your service pages is the same thing as the SaaS website. So you want to make sure every one of the services that you offer, maybe it's residential design, maybe it's staging, consulting, you want to have a page for each of those. And this is what we're going to be covering today is the service pages. Cool. So that's 2 examples of what a website should look like. Now, the very next thing that we're going to do is prompt AI. So let's prompt AI. We have the website structure, so that's awesome. At least we have an idea of what our website should look like. Now let's prompt on how to get those services. So the very first thing that you're going to want to ask AI is what service pages you need. So this is pretty easy if you are the business owner. You're going to have a good idea of what service pages you are going to offer. However, though, let's say you just want to see what the most popular services in your niche are. And also, if you're working on a client site, of course, you're not going to be an expert in this, and that's okay. So you want to have, I would say this is good to prompt either way. So let's bring this prompt into Claude. And basically, you're just going to say, act as an SEO expert. You're building out a client's website, let's say. List 7 or 5 or whatever is the most popular practice area pages or services, and then whatever your niche is. So we're going to do the interior designer example. Remember, we will ask the client if they have these services. If they do, we will continue them on, we will conclude them on the site. Cool. So let's enter and see what it comes up with. And I've already done this, and I'll show you. One thing about AI, and it's actually a blessing, is that it never gives you the same exact results every time, which is a good thing because then everyone would just have duplicate content. Cool. So it said residential, commercial, kitchen, bathroom remodeling, space planning and layout optimization, customer furniture, color consultation. Awesome. So it gave me a different results last time. Either way, that's okay. I can go ahead and add to this. But basically, you want to get a Google sheet together and list down all the popular services within your niche. And the reason why you want to do this is because then you want to ask yourself, okay, do I have this service? Or ask your client, do you have this service? And then you want to note it down. Yes, I do. No, I do not. And then whatever service you have, you want to go ahead and create a service page for that, of course. So let's say this client had a home staging service and then a virtual interior design consultation service. I'll just copy and paste this into the next sheet, which will be the content calendar content strategy. And you can see here, I already copy and pasted that service. And just to go through this spreadsheet a bit more. So basically what I have here, it's really simple. It's the status, priority, right? You want to make sure that all service pages are priority 1 and what services they want to offer right away, or product pages if you're a SaaS startup. And you want to make sure that those are all priorities. And then things like top of the funnel, middle funnel content, like I've already said, blog posts, those should be 2nd to 3rd priority. So dial down on what your priority is, because that's what you want to write first. And then you want to have your main keywords here and search volume. I already kind of started doing this, but just to show you guys a bit more. So let's say, because this one, they prompted me saying space planning and layout optimization. So let's say here, right, and I'm going to go back to my page. So let's say, okay, cool. So I have that here. I put it in because that's what AI told me that one of the popular services. So let's say they had that service. So I would just take that, copy that, and I already have it here, but I'll just link it out for you. And then I'll just paste it in my topic. Okay, cool. So I know that's a service page that I'm going to need to create, and I'll just come here, remember the different types, so I'll just put in service page, so that's service page. Now, how do I find the keyword and search volume? So what you're going to want to do is now go to the next prompt, which will be what are the potential keywords of each of these service pages. So I already gave me the service pages. So now I'm going to say, what are the potential keywords of service page? And I'm going to have a sip of tea while this writes out for me. Content writing is so hard. Awesome. So now it has keywords underneath each of these potential service pages. So let's say I was doing this one, this space planning and layout optimization, right? So if I was in this space, I would say, cool, maybe space planning services. That's going to be my main keyword that I'm going to create a service page around. So I'm just going to take that keyword. And now what you want to do is cross-check that in Ahrefs. So skipping step 3 just for a second, what you want to do is double check all keywords in your keyword research tool. Again, I use Ahrefs. Copy and paste that keyword from AI to the Keyword Explorer tool. So let me just go through that with you. So in Ahrefs, there's the Keyword Explorer tool. So you just want to copy, paste, space planning services, press enter, and then click search suggestions. And there's 3 things that we're going to look at, which is going to be the keyword difficulty, monthly search volume, and DRs of the SERP. So let me go through that with you. So the very first thing that I'm going to see is this is a pretty good keyword, I can tell off the bat, but I'm still going to go to search suggestions because I just want to see what else Ahrefs is saying is a good keyword. So software, no, doesn't make sense. Office space planning services, So this still looks like the best keyword to me, just because that has a good amount of search volume and it's really easy. So let me pull that up again. It has really easy keyword difficulty, which is awesome. It's at a 1. It has 90 search volume. And again, you don't want to worry, especially for service pages, what the monthly search volume is, because again, this is for high converting customers. You're not worried about those customers who aren't necessarily yet looking at your services to purchase. So 90 is actually pretty good. And then you want to come down here and look at the DRs for all your top 10 SERPs. And you can see here there's a 1 DR. So especially if I was a website that was first starting out, I'm going to have 0 DR. So someone ranking that is just a new site in the 1 space is really, really good. So this is a great keyword. So I'm just going to copy and go to Ahrefs and paste it in my keyword research, and then whatever the volume is, I'll just put it here, which is 90. Awesome. So this is really, really good. And that's how I found my keyword for the service page. Again, what you want to do is you can double check all these keywords if you're not sure, but pick the best one that you think will be good for the service page, and then just double check it in Ahrefs like we did. Just a quick note here, this tutorial is only focused on service pages, but I do want to give you a quick note about how to do this for blog posts. So I have another prompt here. So you can take this prompt, it's just specifying blog post ideas, so keywords in the blog post. You can see here, as an SEO expert specializing in interior design, so whatever industry you're in, generate a list of 5 keyword ideas for blog posts, right? And you can read through this. Again, this is a way to find blog post ideas. So it's awesome. So it comes up with top funnel content, which is going to be interior design style guides, right? Because they're not ready to purchase interior design services, but they are looking for just what even interior design entails. This is how to work with interior designer, which is a great middle of the funnel content. So basically what you want to do, and I'll just give you an example right now, is take again the keyword or the title and put it into Ahrefs in the keyword research tool, enter. We'll go to search suggestions, and then we'll see here, cool, what's a good keyword? Space tips, small space tips. Cool, actually none of these are pretty good keywords. Maybe this example, that could be a good one. So 10 keyword difficulty, 30 search volume, how to create space, blah, blah, blah. So again, AI prompts me all different stuff. But you can see here, I actually found some really good keywords from what I prompted me before. So one of them was how to choose your color palette for your home. So I think that's a great top of the funnel keyword. So how to choose a color palette for your home. It's pretty high in the keyword difficulty range. It's a 40 volume, but it has pretty good SERPs with only a 20 in here. So this is probably a good top of the funnel keyword to go ahead and use. And then I also found like the cost of hiring an interior designer, what is a virtual staging, right? Especially if one of the features is virtual home staging. Something you want to have is an informational post about what is virtual staging. Cool, so I don't want to get too far into this rabbit hole, but basically what you want to start noting down is what are your services you offer, find the good keywords, and then let's write those service pages. Awesome. So again, double check all your keywords because AI sometimes lies. Now we have our content plan. So let's get into the fun part, which is the content creation. So you want to start drafting your content brief plus outlining, writing, and editing. So the very first thing I'm going to do is start drafting your content brief and outlining. So I have an example of what a content brief here should look like. And I already started doing this. This will just be something that we'll take for reference because again, AI prompts new stuff every single time. So the very first thing that we're going to do is take a content brief. So you can see here, it's just basically what's the topic, primary keyword, secondary keyword, recommended word count, meta description, and then I have a checklist of everything that needs to be included here. And then we're going to write the page outline, written page, and then I'll show you what this is later on. Cool, so the very first thing we're going to do is take this virtual interior design consultation, because that's one of the services that we offer, let's say, put it in the topic, and then what was the primary keyword that I found? So the primary keyword is going to be the same thing as the topic sometimes, right? You want to make sure, but you can see here when I search for the topic, yeah, cool. So this was a pretty good keyword, and it's 60 keyword volume. So that's why I chose that as the primary keyword. The next thing that we're going to do is also take that keyword and then come into Surfer. And I already did this, but basically you want to create, right? You just want to copy and paste this into the content editor and create the content editor. I already have this done, so I have the content editor here. So this is the content editor, and you can go ahead and copy and paste that link here and save it. So you have this. And then after that, let's go back to our checklist. Now we're going to create SERP analyzer with your main keyword and Surfer as well. So let's go back to Surfer. It has this really cool thing. It's the SERP analyzer, and basically do the same thing, put your keyword, create the SERP analyzer. So I already have this done. So we're going to go in here and just take a look. And the next thing we're going to do is know the top 5 competitors. So our SERP is going to tell us what the top 5 competitors are. And then basically we're going to go back, and I have here, so the top competitors that are ranking. So I always like to include at least the top 5. And I already have the 4 in here, and I'll show you exactly how I found them. So in the SERP analyzer, if we go back to Surfer, we have all the top ones. Again, you want to take a look at each of these because obviously something like the Washington Post, that's not something I want to include. That's a blog post. That's not a service page. So I want to take a look at all of the ones. These are blog posts. So I included this one, this one, this one, because they're all service pages. And if we open them up, you can even see that they're a service page. And the next one that I'll include, let's say this one. That one looks good. Yeah, so you can see it's like sign up for interior design. So let's say that's what I want it. So you just want to paste that there and just note down the top 5 competitors. Awesome. Now we want to find the average word count of the pages. So if you come up here, you can see it gives you right away what the pages are, what the average pages. So for the first 10, and you can even take this down to like first 5 if you really want it. I'm okay with doing the first 10 because the third one is a blog post and the 5th one is a blog post. So let's just take the average of all 10. And basically it's saying that it's like 14,000 words. So I'm just going to take it, and then this one's like 11,000. So I'll take kind of the middle. I always like to do more than less. So I think here I said 1,300. So you can just say, cool, in here, just put in recommended word count. It's going to be 1,300 on my SERPs. And then whatever page is in, again, this is a service page. Cool. Awesome. So then after that, what we're going to want to do is with a mix of SERP analysis, right? This is our SERP analysis. And our NAI, we're going to draft a blog outline. So what a good service page outline looks like, just so you know, because again, you can't prompt AI with somewhat of expertise, is you want to, so I have an infographic for you here. So basically you want your H1, which would be the page title, and then an attention-grabbing headline, right? The H1 and the title are 2 different things. And then really like how it benefits them, how it solves their problem, a call to action, some social proof, how your process works, inspire action, frequently asked questions, and a call to action, right? So this is what a good service page entails. Again, it doesn't have to be so perfect. We're going to try to incorporate that as much as we can. Again, it could depend on each industry. Step 1 is the first thing you want to do is get some ideas from Surfer, the SERP analysis, and the 3 dots and go to content outline. So you can see here, I'll open up, you want to go to these 3 dots here, and then you can go to content outline and you can see exactly their content outline, which is awesome. Basically what you want to do now is we're going to go to here, we're going to go down, and we're going to start drafting out the page outline. So, and I have an idea of what I did before. So this was the page outline. So basically I saw, okay, cool, like this is what their meta description is. They have the benefits, so I definitely want to include some benefits. So let's go here, benefits, and benefits will always be like H2, virtual interior design. So this is what I think are H1, virtual interior design services or consultation. Cool. Deliverables. I want to do something like how it works, how it works. Okay, cool. And I'm gonna check out one more other one. So let's open this one. Contact. Oh, sorry, that's a blog post. Let's go to. I'm gonna go to this one, Heavenly. Okay, so I like that here. Their title is Online Interior Design and Home Decor. That could be a good virtual. Design and home decor, and then they have, so you want to put in like company names, like make it more personalized, like maybe this is your company name, how blah 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 works, design online, get inspired. Okay, cool. They have like customer stuff. Okay, that's enough. That's a good amount. And again, I would go through this a bit more, see what other stuff we can pull from competitors. But then after that, the very next thing is you want to prompt AI now. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to Claude, put in this, and you can see here, my prompt here are competitors' content outline for a service page. And this is the keyword virtual interior design consultation. And I'm going to copy and paste one of the competitors that I admire the most. And I think it was this one that I liked. And then I'll just paste here their outline. And don't worry if it's like really crazy. AI can still read it. The rest of the prompt says, please take this based on your own knowledge as an expert and builds me a content outline. Just read through this and make sure that you are changing the industry. And then I also put here are some secondary keywords. So to show you how I got these secondary keywords, go back in the SERPs, you go to keywords, and then you just want to take note of what keywords you want to include. So up here, back on the blog post, so you can see here, these are the secondary keywords that I included. So online decorating services, I thought was a really good one. Online decorating help, online decorating services, interior decorating online. So again, in your secondary keyword list, just note down some ones that you really like online interior decorating help I really like, so I'll just paste that in there. I like this one as well, home decor services, right? Home decor service, interior decoration online, cool. So that's a bunch of secondary keywords that we can include, so just go ahead and put in your secondary keywords in here. So it prompts AI telling them that, hey, this is also secondary keywords. So I'll just press enter and let's see what happens. Cool, so this is what AI prompted. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy and paste this into our Word document. So the title is Transform Your Interior, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's cool. Elevate, start, blah, blah. I don't wanna worry about the meta description just yet. Cool, so this is how our online interior decor works. So you see here, it's like how it works, and basically it's included here. So actually that's good. I like this one better, how our online interior design works. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. So that's cool. So that's what AI prompted us, which is great. And then here are some things. Okay, I like this, why choose. So that's a good one to add as well. I'm just gonna format this a bit better. But the one thing it didn't include is benefits. I want to go ahead and include them. Maybe I'll put them there. So, and then you want to prompt AI a bunch of different times, because if you go to my other one, which is the one I did before, you'll notice that this is way different. This page outline is way different than the one I'm creating now. So you want to prompt AI a couple times, and then you want to mix the two together. So what is the better outline? So I have here like benefits of online home decor, and then this is benefits of virtual design. So I think I like this better. Benefits of online home decorating services, right? I also like how our virtual design works, right? Do I have it how it works? So I actually do like how our online interior design services work, and then I like how our online decorating service works, and then what you'll receive. I like what you'll receive, like our process and everything, over packages, because like software companies, that will be more like packages, but not necessarily an interior designer. So I like what you'll receive a bit better. And then it says step-by-step implementation guide. I really don't like that. You don't know what the rest of this is, but you can see here, so the one that prompted me before is pretty good. So you can see here how our virtual interior design works, the benefits of it, what you'll receive, and then your call to action, ready to imagine your space, right? And include a call to action to booking a consultation with a designer. And then these are the frequently asked questions that it came up with. So I kind of like that a lot better. This one didn't even prompt me with frequently asked questions. So that's why you want to prompt AI a bunch of times. So we're just going to use this one because I think this one's way better than the one it prompted me before. But awesome. Okay, cool. So after we have our outline, the next thing we're going to do is blend the two in your content brief. So let's say we blended the two into one single blog post outline. So we took the competitor content outline and the information that AI gave us and blend it into one blog post outline. So let's say it is this one that we have here. And again, use your best knowledge and really create this out. So after that, we're gonna actually start writing your service page. So the first AI prompt for writing your service page is here. So we're just gonna go ahead and copy all of this and then I will go through it. So copy it, paste into Claude. And let's take a look. So as an expert SEO specialist in the interior design space, so here put your industry, you are an expert website in Sweden, you specialize in staging and home decor, right? My company name is this. The page you are going to help me write is a service page, not a blog post. Here's an example of the company's tone. So what you want to do is just put an example of your own tone and style that you want or your client. So I'm just going to take an example off the site and paste it. So let's go on here. So, okay, cool. We'll just take this. So I went on the company site, took an example of what the tone and style should be, and I'm going to say, please copy this tone and style. However, please use short sentences, not use paragraphs more than 3 sentences long. The total length of the article should be no more than the 400 words. I believe we said here we wanted it to be 1,300. So let me, 13. Okay, AI does not know word count, so honestly, it doesn't even matter. And then what it says is, please confirm that this makes sense. Do not start writing yet. So it's really important. You don't want to write out some BS quite yet. Cool. And then as it's writing, I'm going to grab the second prompt. So the second prompt is going to be, please go ahead and write this page and use this content outline. It's going to say, I understand, yada, yada, yada. Awesome. So the second prompt, and then insert content outline here. So whatever your content outline that you said you were going to do, you go ahead and copy the outline here. Sorry, okay, cool. So here's the outline. I'll just put, I want to copy the title as well. And I like to add quotes around it so it knows, and then enter. Cool, now we just have that writing out. Quick note here, these are very different prompts and outlines from how a blog post should be written. So again, this is just a service page. So you want different prompts for when you're doing blog posts on your site. So those top and mid funnel content pieces. So the next thing that we're going to do, so it wrote us, cool. Awesome, our whole thing's written out. So the very first thing we're going to do is just, we can go ahead and copy this into our template. So the written page, we're going to go ahead and paste it here. First thing we're going to do, and you can see my step here, is check the word count, probably less. So let's go ahead and check the word count, because again, AI cannot count for insert curse word. Okay, so let's see. Cool. So yeah, so it's 655 words. So we have a lot more to go to hit that 1,400. So basically the next thing that we're going to do after that is now prompt and rewrite section by section. So it's really important. You want to do it section by section and then improve. So the first thing we're going to do is improve introduction. What we're going to do is take this prompt. So here's the prompt to improve the introduction. So the prompt is, do you know what ADA framework is for sales copywriting? If so, briefly tell me what this is. So it's really important. So I want AI to use this framework. It's a sales framework. If you guys don't know what ADA is, please look that up. So it's basically attention, desire, interest, desire, action. So this will tell you what it is, and it's a classic marketing model that I like to follow for my introductions. So I like to say, awesome, now that you see the ADA framework to improve the introduction, improve the intro here. So we take what it prompted us last time. We can just take the one from up here. And I wanted to use the ADA framework to improve this. So let's go ahead and prompt it that. Cool, so it created the framework, which is awesome. So it says, attention, imagine transforming your living space into haven, blah, blah, blah. At the company, we revolutionize interior design, experience the luxury, so on, right, to elevate your living experience. Okay, that's pretty good. That's not too bad. I'm going to say go ahead and include one external link to this introduction to a credible source that's within the past 2 years and intrigues the audience. Because again, we want one external source, and I like to include this external source in the introduction. So it said here, I don't know where it added it actually. So I'm just going to grab this and I'm going to copy and paste it into here. Okay, so I added it here, study by internal. So this is a .org. And it's a 404 error. So yeah, so when it does this, I would say like, give me another external link, but sometimes it just doesn't do this prompt correctly. I will say that in my other introduction, so if you see here, in the other introduction that it wrote me, so here it is, and it actually did a pretty good job of adding the external thing. So here's the introduction. Tired of unaspired spaces, imagine your home transformed, experience luxury professional interior design without leaving your couch. I really like this introduction a lot better. And then here's the external source to House and Beauty. And it says, as recent studies show, from home beautiful continues to dominate global interior trends, known for timeless appeal and functionality. And a link to this source, which is a pretty good source. If you're a health company, you probably want something from like Mayo Clinic and things like that, but this is a pretty good source for the interior design space. So just be mindful what industry you're in. But yeah, so this is pretty good, and this is beefing up the article even more. So I tried to reprompt as much as possible until you get something that you're happy with, or honestly just edit it yourself, because I like this one. It prompted me before rather than this one here. Cool, so then you're just gonna wanna keep doing the same thing. So going back to our document, now that we have the introduction, let's go ahead and improve step by step. So all you're going to want to do is prompt AI. So here's an example. So let's improve this section now. And basically, I'll just take it section by section. So if you remember, this is what it spit out to us. So this is what it gave us. And in terms of like how our virtual interior design process works, I probably want to add a lot of personalization in here, like what we exactly offer as an interior design company, how our process works. That information is probably going to come off the top of my head or my client's head. So I'm just going to leave that as is. And then what you'll receive again, like what we offer, is going to be again another thing that we get off the bat. So, but the benefits is something that we can work with further with AI. So I'm going to say, let's improve this section now. And I'm just going to put it in here and go ahead and press enter and see what I can come up with. So benefits of online interior designing. So you can see here, it went way more extensive with it. So design with conscious, visualize with confidence. So here's all the benefits. And I told it to give a lot more than it was giving me. So you want to just keep prompting AI. Cool, here's the new. So why choose virtual home decorating? And then it has these prompts. So it's only still 3 benefits. So I'm going to say add more benefits and really provide value to the reader. Invoke human emotions about how online design benefits can benefit them. So now you can see here, it's going to write me a lot more. Awesome. So there's a lot more information here. These are pretty good. So sustainable, mindful choices, empowerment through knowledge, etc. So this is all pretty good. So I'll go ahead and copy and paste this. And again, this is just an example. I do like the one it gave me before still with digital collaboration. Still like the one it gave me before. It says save time and money, flexibility for global clients. So again, you want to do this a couple of times. So that's okay that I'm putting this in again. But I'm just going to go ahead. I still want to keep the H2 the same. But I'm going to paste all what it gave me before. Get rid of this. Cool. And then you can just go ahead and make it, format it better, and all the good stuff. And it has bullet points and exclamations, which I really like. So cool. So here's another draft of what the benefits should be. So this is pretty good. So now let's say we do that section by section and you keep prompting with AI until you get the results that you want. Basically, the next step after that, after you keep prompting AI to write out the sections, and again, do it section by section, because if you just say, make it better, you can give you the whole blog post and you just prompt it and say, make it better or improve the whole thing, it just honestly doesn't do it well. Just take it section by section, believe me, and keep telling it what you actually want to see. So you want to see it invoke more human emotions, you want to see more information, you want to see statistics, like tell it. Cool. Now we dive into the editing. So what you can do is paste the article into Surfer's Content AI Humanizer. I'm a little back and forth on this. I didn't like what it gave me, but I'll just show you how to do it in case like maybe you do like what it gives you. But basically you just copy it and then go to back to Surfer, and there's AI Humanizer tool. And then you can just paste it here and then say humanize, and then it just starts rewriting your content to humanize it. So this is pretty good. I mean, I don't love the stuff it gives me. I feel like if you prompt it the right way, whatever it gives you here should be pretty good, and you probably just need to do some human edits on it. But I will say that you can definitely take and consider what it's telling you here. So you just let it continue, and then once it's done in here, I do have this part where it's AI humanized content. So I don't just copy and paste over the original, because again, like I'm saying, I don't necessarily love this quite yet. I think I'll get better over time, but I will still see what it potentially could offer. So as I continue, all I would do afterwards is just copy and paste it underneath here. So you can see the last time I did this, I have it copy and paste it under here. And then I will use these two drafts that I just created and use them to have the final draft. So the next thing after I do, so after that's done, I copy and paste that, but we don't have time for that. Let's keep moving. Is basically we go back into the content editor and we will now start writing out the article. So this is where all the human edits come in. This is where I really create the final draft and where I put all the secondary keywords in here. I used to say to get like a score of like 80, 90 plus. Honestly, that's too much. Don't take this so seriously. All you want to do is just make sure you're including all the secondary keywords that you came up with and get a score of at least 75 plus. I promise this, it's not about how you edit the content. It's more, okay, cool. Am I making it the best content that it can be? So that's what you want to mainly worry about rather than, just a score on a page. So the first thing that I'll do is just start incorporating everything that I need. So I'm going to add personalization. So I'm going to paste the article into the Surfer Content Optimizer tool. I'm going to add personalization. I'm going to add internal links. I'm going to format subheaders and bullet lists. So what I'm going to do is just, let's say we have our article are written from AI and then our AI human content, but I'm mainly just going to take a look here. So I'm going to go with, I think I saw last time, so I was going after this keyword. So I want this. I want expert virtual interior design consultant. So that's an H2. And then we're going to dive into the introduction. So I think I really like this introduction. So, and then again, you want to delete this. The attention, desire, interest, that's just to make sure it's following the ADA framework. And then you just want to copy and paste this in here. What I'm also going to do is scroll down to the AI humanized content and just see if there's anything I like that it says better than here. And I'll start putting in, okay, tired of uninspired spaces. What does this one say? Tired of boring space. I like uninspired. What's wrong with that? Imagine your home transform into a Swedish design masterpiece. Experience the luxury of professional design without leaving your couch. The company brings award-winning Swedish elegance and innovation directly to your home, wherever you are in the world. So maybe it's not a war. So this is where you want to add your experience personalization. The company has been bringing award-winning Swedish elegance and innovation to homes for the last 20 years. Maybe that's how long the company's been. So this is where you start adding the only personalization, the numbers, the statistics, what your company actually offers. External links still looks really good, but yeah, okay, cool. And then that's where I want to add. And then maybe I can add like online interior. Well, let's keep going and let's see what else is here. So then we just want to keep going. And then our H2 is how our virtual interior design process works. Let's take a look at what this H2 says. Our virtual interior design process. Okay, let's see. So I'm just going to put this, and then you want to go ahead and put this as H2. Get rid of the H2. And you can see here, our score's already up to 30. So we only have 35 more to really tailor. But again, you don't want to worry about that too much. And then I like what it said here. Yeah, I don't know. I really like what it gave us before. I don't like the AI humanized content. So I'm just going to keep going with this. This sounds cool. So cool. So redefine, finalize. So this is the process. You can see here. Again, I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to go ahead and create H3s. Get rid of the H3. This is H3. H3. Okay, so then this is where I'm going to say, I'm going to keep reading and make it into paragraphs that I like. And I'm going to go ahead and put personalization in, and I'm going to go ahead and add these keywords that I can here. So how our, maybe here is where I'll say how our online interior design service process works, right? And that takes care of that secondary keyword here, and it gets a score up more. So you just want to keep going with this. Again, this is, you can't just do one-click AI. It doesn't work like that. It's not there yet. You really want to make sure that this in the content editor is where you're building out more, putting the human touch, human edits, business edits, everything in that nature in here. So I would just keep going down this list and building out the website step by step and reading it, making sure it sounds good to my ears and it sounds like I'm having a conversation rather than some robotic language. Add all your personalization experience and you format the subheadings to bullet headings. You also want to be adding the internal links. So a nice way to do this is you just want to do site : to find internal links. So let's say I'm on this site. Okay, why not? So let's just take this site. You want to put that in, and the quotes, space, and then whatever your keyword is. Oh, sorry, you don't do quotes here. So it's just site, and then the colon, and then whatever the keyword is. So let's say I'm looking for interior design. So take your site or your client's site, and then see what articles. So this is what is interior design. So that's a blog post on what is interior design. So cool. So maybe this is my site. I want to link to this blog post, and right here, I can go ahead and add, okay, professional interior design, right? That could be good with a definition, and I would just add a link, and that's done, an internal link. And you want to actually add like at least 3 to 5 internal links. Cool, so that's done, that's done, that's done. The last thing you want to make sure in the editing phase is you want to connect Surfer to WordPress. So do not, and I repeat this, do not copy and paste. So Surfer has a great tool that you just go to export, and I already did this. You just want to create new draft and then next, and then make sure it's not a post, it's a page because we're doing service pages, and then create page. Don't copy and paste because actually what you'll see on the back end is that the HTML code will be all messed up. It just adds so much bloat in it for some reason. I don't know why when you copy and paste either from Surfer or Google Docs. So just make sure you either have export, or if you don't use WordPress, maybe use Webflow or something. Just make sure you're looking up the best way to go about having your Surfer go to your website. This is the way I do it. There's a plugin. You just download the Surfer SEO plugin on WordPress, and then it seamlessly connects to your account. It's really great. Or you can use Wordable too. Wordable is a great extension, but just don't copy and paste. The HTML code gets all bloated and messed up. Awesome. So let's say it's connected, and now we're in WordPress. So it will go ahead and actually, maybe I'll do this because, so I'm updating existing post because I already did this. And that's it. So I'll just go next and overwrite page. So you can see how seamless this really went in here. It looks great and it is all in here. So the next thing you want to do is, now the easy part's done. So unfortunately, AI can't really help you with this. So now you just want to go through, review the checklist, and make sure all this is done. So I also, in my template, I have this checklist that I always look at. So in the template, I have this checklist that I always look at. So I put in the main keyword here. Maybe I have my top 5 competitors here. Also, beforehand, I'm writing the blog post. This is just my notes. I'll see what value the reader is trying to get at, make sure I'm really understanding. And I'm also optimizing the H1. I like to use a tool. It's called CoScheduler. So it's a great free tool. I'll just put in what I think the H1 should be, and then analyze the title of it. Go ahead and use that, or honestly just chat AI, ask what the title should be. Just make sure your keyword is in the title, the H1, and it must be under 60 characters. I also have the server SEO link in here, the content editor, just so I have that, and I have an optimization score of at least 60, 65. I'm including internal links, so I said already there should be at least 3 minimum. You can run it through Grammarly if you would like. Outbound links, so you should have 1 at least external outbound link. So if you remember, we did that in the beginning. So this is our outbound link to a credible source, and no competitors. It's a big key. Do not have any competitors. And then the images, which we'll talk about in a second. I have the title written, so here's the title. And then what we're going to do, and I do use a tool and I have it here. I use Rank Math SEO. It's a plugin in WordPress. I think it's great. So you just put in your focus keyword, whatever that is. So maybe it's this in here. And then it will give you what your score is. So again, this score won't be the best thing ever, just because I don't have it all written out. I just have the first couple, but it's really great. And then I can just go to edit snippet, and then basically it says, okay, cool, this is the title. So it does it for you, which is awesome. The title is a bit different than the H1, which is okay. And then your permalink. So what your slug should be. So the slug here should always just be the main keyword. So mine is virtual interior design, virtual. And the shorter is best. So just make sure it's a short URL. So this is the URL. So awesome. That's what it should be. So I'll just paste it in here. So it should just be, whatever the seed keyword is, which is virtual interior design consultation. Actually, I don't even think it's not even services. Sorry. So get rid of services because it's not that. So whatever your website is, and then your main keyword, just make sure the main keyword is the only thing in the URL slug. You don't want to include numbers, years, or any of that nonsense, just the main keyword. And then the meta description, you can just prompt AI with that. So I already wrote one out here. And basically it says transform your space with company name, professional interior design, experience, blah, 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 anywhere in the world. So just make sure that you can go ahead and say, write me a meta description for company name and include the primary keyword. You can't see this because this is here. Include the primary keyword and make sure it is less than, which is virtual interior design consultation, and make sure it's less than 150 characters for ADS. That's the company name and so on. So then it just prompts you a meta description. Let's see what it does. Transform your space, the company name, experienced interior design consultant, Swedish elegance meets global, book now for a personalized home makeover. Oh, I love that. So that's great. So either or, so I'll just write this down so I note it. So either or, you want to say something about book now for a free consultation, transform your space, you want the company name, primary keyword in the meta description. Just make sure it's less than 150 characters. Awesome. So that's done. And then you want to put the meta description here. Sorry. So you want to make sure meta descriptions, let's say we use this one, then you just want to go ahead, copy and paste it and make sure it's in here. So, and that's all done. Then you just press exit and then everything will be saved. And then you just want to make sure as well that the headers are coming in seamlessly. So this is an H3. Yes, we want it to be H3. That's an H2, and that's an H3 again, and this is H2. So you just want to come in here, just make sure all your headers are good. But if you did convert it directly from Serper to WordPress, then it should be seamlessly done for you. And then you want to add the featured image. So I would highly recommend creating your featured image on Canva. You can see mine. And again, this will very, very depend on your company. I would say include your company's, actual images that you have. You can see mine, but they're created on Canva. Okay, here they are. So I have the brand, a simple infograph, what it is. I think it'd be better if my featured images were actually of me. So I'm looking to incorporate my YouTube thumbnails to my featured images. So honestly, I think that will be best. You want to go here. Again, your WordPress may look different. Then you want to go to page and then set featured image. And then you just want to go ahead and choose your featured image. So whatever that may be. So let's say this was my featured image. And you just want to make sure your alt text is something descriptive, but for your featured image, you just want to have it as main keyword. So I would say book a free virtual, or I would say, for here, I would say virtual interior design consultation. And then just make sure your title as well, you want to make sure it's well optimized. So whatever your title is, just make sure it's descriptive. Again, the alt text for just your featured image should be the main keyword, and then your title should be something a bit more descriptive. I don't like that here it's saying featured image of how to blah, blah, blah. That's probably not good. And then you just want to set featured image. So just make sure you have descriptive file name when importing it, and then your alt text is the actual main keyword. In terms of the branding that's on your page, just make sure it's always this formatting. And I will say, don't use any stock images. Don't use any stock images. Either use your company's photos, ask your client for some team photos or photos of its services or anything, and or use Canva, mix it Canva, and then some stock photos. You can get some stock photos, put them to Canva, but just make sure your images are customized and make sure they're company branded, right? You want to include your logos, and you want something that is really going, because brand is a huge thing, right? So you want to make sure that you're putting your company brand across in all the service pages and content piece. So I'm not going to get super into images, but just make sure that when you're doing your images, include a descriptive image file, because that image file does get input it into WordPress and gets crawled by Google's crawlers. And don't keyword stuff, don't overly optimize it, just be descriptive. And then add a descriptive alt tag. So I have a blog here from HubSpot. Alt tags for images are really, really important. You don't want to keyword stuff them. Please do not keyword stuff them. So this is just more information about what an alt text is on the images. It's really important because people that are maybe blind have the alt text read it to them, right? So they know what the image is about. So it's really, really important. You want to make sure that you're being descriptive and as best as possible. So make sure you read a blog post or more about them. And then compress all your images. So I use image compressor. So you just want to make sure that you're compressing. And even when you're on Canva, there's an option when you're downloading, you'll see you can compress it. So you want to make sure you're even double compressing. And then you just want to, the very last thing is double check all internal links. So you can remember here we add an internal link. So just make sure, and I always make sure that it's always opening up in a new tab. So advanced, open up a new tab. So I always make sure any and all links are opening up in new tabs, because you never want people going off your blog post. That's really, really important. Or your service page, I'm sorry. So don't ever anyone having coming off your site. You always want it just populating in a new tab. And then again, like I said before, just use ranked math. It's on the left-hand side, and you just want to make sure you can see here, you want to make sure all these things are filled out as best as possible here. It's just a really good tool. Again, don't overthink it, don't over-optimize, but just make sure you're using the right tools and doing the right methods. And then, then you just want to publish it. So you just come up here, and when you're ready, you either publish it or you can schedule it to be published. But that is your service page. Well, congratulations. Now you're an AI SEO content writing expert. If you want this document that I have for you, of all the AI prompts, just go to this site, give put in your email, put in your first name. I will send it over to you right away. And again, I'll have a link description for you to get that as well.